Hi students, how are you? You know that the second half-term exam is due very soon, so I have prepared this tutorial in order to help you with the most common mistakes I usually find when I am grading your practical works. Yes, so the idea is to work on these mistakes in order to improve your writing skills. Yes, so I have prepared this top 10 list with some of the topics we will deal with in this tutorial. Yes, yeah. Spelling mistakes and false friends, run-on sentences, sentence fragments, no comma after introductory phrase, wordiness, comma splices and misuse, no commas around interrupters, squinting modifiers. The first thing we will analyze is the issue of spelling mistakes and false friends. Take a look at the example. You see that there are some words in red which are not badly written, they are correctly spelled, but they are not the correct words in that context. Yes, spelling mistakes and the existence of spelling mistakes proves that proofreading hasn't been correctly done. You must proofread whatever you are writing because it deals with unclear sentence. Proofreading deals with unclear sentences, correcting punctuation, grammatical, mechanical errors, correcting spelling mistakes. So always reread, proofread your texts before handing them in. Yes. Also, it is not a good idea to trust on spell check or grammar check because they can make mistakes too, as in the example. Yes, in this sentence, the spell check will take the words as correct. Then, the thing about cognates. You know that they are words that sound similar, have similar spelling, and have the same meaning in the two languages. But in the case of false friends, cognates, the English word sounds like a word in Spanish, but the two words do not have the same meaning. Yes, for instance, I usually find actually as actualmente, or assist, carpet, lecture, realize, sensitive as common mistakes. Yes, when you write, remember that, for instance, assist doesn't mean asistir. Attend means asistir. Yes, here you have some funny pictures with some false friends to exemplify what I am trying to explain. Then the thing about run-on sentences. Take a look at the example. My dog barks at the mailman, but she's too lazy to chase him. The thing about run-on sentences and the comma has to do with the fact that a coordinating conjunction connects two clauses that could be sentences on their own. Unless the clauses are very short and closely related, you need a comma before the conjunction. If you forget to put a comma, it becomes a run-on sentence. So you definitely need a comma between mailman and the conjunction but. Now take a look at this sentence, which of course you know that it is not a proper sentence, okay? So an epic all-nighter. What's wrong with these sentences? What sentence constituent is missing? You know that sentence fragments are sentences that miss either a subject or a verb. In this case, the subject is missing. So the way to fix a sentence fragment is to add the missing constituent. In this case, I have added the subject and the verb pulled in this case? I pulled an epic all-nighter. Then, no comma after an introductory phrase. An introductory phrase is like a clause, but it doesn't have its own subject and verb. It relies on the subject and verb in the main clause, setting the stage for the main part of the sentence. Take into consideration that an introductory clause is different from an introductory phrase, because an introductory clause has a subject on its own, yes, which is different from an introductory phrase. This kind of phrases provide some background information and are usually followed by a comma. The comma is optional when the phrase is too short. Yeah, so while a Thanksgiving commercial played on TV, comma, she was at the library trying to study for her final exams. The comma is missing here, and that's a mistake. Let's work with wordiness. Wordiness has to do with the fact that a sentence uses more words than necessary to convey meaning, and it often makes writing unclear. Look at this example. Jessica ended up having to walk all the way home due to the fact that she missed the last train leaving Central Station. How could you fix or make this sentence more concise? And how can you fix wordiness? First, you should identify long phrases that can be replaced with a single word. Then you can eliminate words that have the same meaning. You can also eliminate weak words, such as, for instance, basically and sort of, yes, which are, and you can also eliminate non-essential information. That is the way to avoid or to find a solution to wordiness. After you have eliminated all the non-essential information, you can have a more concise and straight to the point sentence, as in the corrected version here. Jessica walked home because she missed the last train. Then no commas around interrupters. You know that interrupters are phrases that break the flow of a sentence to provide additional detail. You must always put commas around interrupters. You have an example here. The comma, possibly the most complex punctuation mark, is the necessary writing tool. Now, I have highlighted the interrupter phrase in red. And what would happen if I removed the words that appear between the two commas? Would the sentence still make sense? Yes, it will. The only thing is that the sentence will express the essential fact of the statement. Yes? The new version, where I omitted the phrase that falls between the commas, makes perfect sense. Still, however, it lacks personality or spice. So the name for spice in, let's say, business English would be style. Yes. So if you want to add some additional information to enhance a simple sentence like the short version, you must rely on commas. Yes, and commas set off the phrase as extra, but still includes it within the context of the larger statement of fact. And then you end up with a more colorful sentence. Yes. we have squinting modifiers. Squinting modifiers are words or phrases or clauses that could modify the word before or the word after it. So students who study rarely get bad grades. The solution in this case would be to put the modifier next to the word it should modify. And then the meaning is completely changed. So students who rarely study get bad grades, or students who study get bad grades rarely. I hope you find this tutorial useful, and try to pay attention to these mistakes and try to avoid them. And remember, always reread and proofread your writings before handing them in order to, of course, not to miss marks, but in order to improve your writing skills.